All right, this week you're working on uh, drawing 1417, which is this drill press bracket, and it's a rather complex part. There's just a lot of stuff here, um, but it's challenging. I think you're going to learn some new techniques in doing some of these things. Because when you get out in the real world, all the parts are not simple little blocks and cylinders and things like that. The real world is kind of complex. So this is what we're going to work on. So start with a new English part, and I'm going to build this on the XZ plane, on my top surface plane. And we're going to build up because I want to start this thing. Remember, we use our axes to constrain our parts to. And once you start doing assemblies in another couple of weeks, you're going to see how important using the axes and the work planes are in developing your parts. So we're going to start with this one. Actually, let me back out of here. I really like using the primitives if I can. It just seems to save me a couple of steps. So I really like using primitives. So I'm going to go with a cylinder there. And I'm going to do this cylinder at the bottom, which has a outside diameter of 2. And then it has a height of 1.688. Okay, so it's got the bottom cylinder. And now I want to create a work plane for the top cylinder. And so I'm going to go offset from plane, choose my XZ, and it is 5.88 up. And I'm going to do another cylinder on that work plane. And it also is a diameter of 2, but it extrudes downward 0.688. Okay, so that's got the 2 cylinders at the front. Now we want to do the cylinder over on the right side, and we're going to use a Revolve tool to do that. And I'm going to draw it squared off. A lot of the things in this type of project, sometimes you need the rounds and the fillets while you're modeling. Sometimes it's best to wait until the end to put those in. But this one, we're going to do it squared and then put a couple of fillets in. So I'm going to go with a sketch on my XY plane. And I'm just going to draw the sketch out and then dimension it and constrain it. So I'm not too worried about my overall dimensions right here. I'm just getting my default snaps of perpendicular and collinear in place. And now dimensions, I'm going to dimension this, and you'll see I've turned my dimensions off so that you'll just have to kind of, I want you to read the dimensions in the textbook also. So that's why a lot of my dimensions are not going to show up right. So draw this shape. I'm going to pause my video. Draw this shape and dimension it as it's shown in the book, a height, things, and then we're going to constrain it and bring it back in. Okay, so let me pause just a minute. Okay, so I got a couple of dimensions in. Then I'm going to come back. I want to show you a couple of little tricks. We're going to go with an equals constraint to make this and this equal because they are equal, okay? And I'm dimensioning the height of that side. Now I want to dimension my diameters of this cylinder. So if I did it backwards. I'm going to start with my center and come out. And I'm going to right click and go linear diameter because this is a diameter. And that way I don't have to do any math. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing for this one. All right. And then I'm going to constrain this. I can go with a horizontal constraint. I got to project geometry first. So, well, let's see. I'm going to need my y-axis and I'm going to need my x-axis. So I go with a horizontal constraint off of that axis and there. Okay. And then I need a distance from there to the center origin, 6.5. Okay, so now I'm fully constrained. And I want to really reiterate, always make sure your sketches are fully constrained. And so now we'll revolve that shape around the center of it. And that's got that. All right, I'm going to save my part file. So I don't lose anything. All right, now having built this thing several times over the years, the sweep of the T, this right here, has to come in, but it has to come in based on that fillet. Now this is a cast iron part, so it's cast into a mold, and the molds are prepared either, by a sand casting, or it could have been a CNC'd part into the casting. So the fillets are a little creative in the way the parts are joined together. So I know that this top edge, I need a fillet for it in order to do that sweep. So I'm going to go ahead and put a fillet in. And the default on these, it says is 0.124. And I just want to do that top edge right there. Okay. And that'll be the only one I need for right now for that. Okay, now we're going to work on these T's. I've got this one would create with a sweep. This one I'm calling the vertical T, and it's just an extrusion. And this one is my horizontal T, which is just an extrusion also. So I'm going to work on this, the sweep T. And so I need two sketches, and one I will put on a regular plane, and the other I need a create a work plane. So I'm going to hide that work plane. And let's see. Let's go ahead with the sweep path. So let's do a sketch on my XY. And to make it easier, I'm going to slice my graphics. Okay, the sketch for the path of this profile for the sweep it's been a little frustrating to me. I worked through it previously, and then when I come back and try to do it again today, it's like it's not cooperating. What's going on? So I had to go back and play again. So anyway, I got my sketch, and I'm going to go project cut edges. Now that's kind of an overkill in this case, but it's what I need because I just need so many different little things up here. Why are those dimensions showing up? Oh, because I've already got the sketch. Those dimensions are showing because I've got this sketch showing. So let me let me hide that sketch just a little bit. Okay. So now we want to sketch a circle. And I'm going to pop it in here. And I'm going to do a coincident constraint from the circle to that point of tangency between the top and the fillet. And then I'm going to do a tangent between that surface and the circle. And then I'm going to dimension the circle with a radius. Okay, and that's what I want. I've got it dimensioned. It's tangent at the top, passes through that corner, passes through that corner. Well, it almost passes through that corner. Okay. So it's like super, super close. Let's just, for giggles, let's see. Oh, it will. 0.6, is that right? 0.6 of it? I don't know. I have to fix that though. I need it is like super, super close, but I do need a connecting line there. So, I'm going to like draw me a weird angle line out here. And then I'm going to make it collinear with the top. And then I'm going to do some trimming. The top edge of the line. Whoa. I would have thought, yeah. There we go. Okay. And so I've got this arc that is coincident here. Tangent, it's got a little straight line there. It's tangent coming down, passes through the fillet at that point, and comes all the way to the bottom. That's the sketch that I want for my path. Now I need a work plane tangent to the edge of these cylinders here to put my sketch on. So I'm going to go work plane, tangent to surface parallel to plane. And it's going to be parallel to this plane on that edge of the surface. And we're going to do a 2D sketch on that. And this is going to be for the T that's coming down. So I will just come up here and I'm going to sketch out a rough shape of the T and then come back in and dimension and constrain it. Okay, let's project some geometry. I need that surface. And let's see which one. I need the y-axis. And I'll do a coincident constraint of the midpoint of these two lines onto that axis. And then I'll apply the dimensions. And I'll do a collinear constraint. I'm going to dimension it first, but collinear constraint from there to there. If I do it now, it'll invert the thing. Okay, so I got dimensions applied and that collinear constraint across the top. It tells me I'm fully dimensioned. So I'll finish this sketch. And so now I'll do my sweep. For the profile, I choose this T shape. For my path, I'll choose that arc. There. That's what I want, right there.